Welcome. I am so glad you are here. And I'd like to say hello, hello, and hello. And there's three reasons why I said three hellos. The first one was because I want to welcome you. The second hello is because of the transformational information that's coming your way. And the third hello is to thank you in advance for the time that you're going to spend with myself and Chinmay. So as you know, I am Vishal Morjaria, the award-winning author who helps you wow your way to wealth. And on the other line, I have my dear friend and fellow award-winning author, Chinmay Swami. Chinmay, do you want to say hello?
Hey everyone, how are you? This is Chinmay from Brighton. I'm really thank you for taking time from your precious day and joining us for this webinar. And we are so excited to actually share the content we have with you, and I just can't wait to get started. And before we get on with it, I just want to say thank you again. And if you're live, if you're really listening to our voice, can you just say hi on the chat? Just say hi. I think I can see Mayur, I can see Claire. Come on, just chat in and say hi. And before we get on, I think we're waiting for a couple of minutes before we start. We're waiting for a couple of more people to join in. They called in our office this just 10 minutes before we started to say they're coming in. And lastly, I really want to apologize for the late delay. But never mind, you're here. We are ready to rock and roll. Well, if you're there listening, if you are you alive, then make some noise. Just ping me a message. Just say hi, Chinmay, and I will be like, wow, hey Mayur, hey Claire, hey Angela. Just say hi. So Mayur, sorry, hey Vishal, are we starting now? Or are we gonna wait for a couple of minutes?
Do you know what, Chinmay? I think there's so many people waiting to get in. I'm starting to see the viewers are jamming in. They are literally queuing to get in. It's crazy. The numbers are going up. And the most amazing thing is that we only started marketing this 2 days ago, and there's so many people jamming to get in. It's so exciting. I've never seen such an amazing response. And one of the exciting reasons why I think our listeners are on is because this is the first ever UK business webinar jam. Like, it's never been done before. And it's normally one of those really powerful ones, because the ones after are great. Like, they're amazing. I'm sure they'll be amazing. But no one ever remembers the second man on the moon. Everyone remembers who the first man on the moon is, but no one ever remembers the second one. So what I mean by saying this is that if you're live on the call, and there's so many people live on the call, amazing. Like, we're so happy to have you. If you're listening to the recording, it's great, but not as great as being alive and online at this moment in time. So yeah, Chinmay, we gotta wait another 2 minutes, I think. But whilst we wait, we don't want to just keep it silent, because we want to entertain our guests. What did you get up to this evening? Because I know you were doing something really exciting, and you didn't want to tell me until you and I were live on this hangout. Chinmay?
Oh, sorry. Are you speaking with me?
Yeah.
I think we lost our dance. I thought you were speaking to Mayur or Claire. Okay. What I was doing, I just went for a run. I went for a run before I went. I know we did a test run of this webinar an hour before we started. But in that hour, I just wanted to run and just go to the beach. I live in Brighton, by the way. It's one of the most amazing places in UK, and I love the sea. I love the sun. And unfortunately, I have to enjoy the wind. So it was too breezy, and I created a video for you guys, especially for this webinar. I'm trying to upload it to YouTube, and I'm failing. Trust me, once it's live, I'm going to send you the link in an email, and you can enjoy the video. The sea was, wow, it was really rocky. Actually, there was foam. When those powerful forces of nature, the wind, the water, and the land collide, there's foam. There's something unnatural. There's something which doesn't happen every day, and that occurred today. And that's what I noticed. Today is our first ever live webinar of UK Business Success, and how amazing coincidence is that? And of all the days I go running, and today is the day I see water turn into foam by a collision of powerful forces. And that made me realize that it's even though we may have the powerful resources to help you, but the power with you are most powerful than to use these strategies, because we may share, but you have taken the time to actually come and listen to us today. That means you're as powerful as us, and you have a powerful voice within you. You have a powerful business idea. You have, and we want you to shine. We want you to become that powerful force which I experienced in the Brighton shores. So I think I know what I'm talking about. And when I say this, you are really powerful, you must be nodding your head thinking, yeah, I'm powerful. The thing, the force you felt when you were young, and that's what I'm talking about. The dreams, the powerful dreams that you had when you think when nothing is impossible and everything is within your grasp. And this is what we're going to share, and how you can build a brand, the business brand, the personal brand, which will help you get a better job, help you start a new business. And that's what we've been trying. Myself and Vishal have been trying to do that. And we have been doing it for the last 2 years. And I think Vishal's doing it longer than me. And we have achieved some great stuff. And Vishal and I have worked really hard to put this UK business success together, and we have been personally invited by them to do this event. So before we started, I want to say thank you again. Now Vishal has some amazing stuff to share. Now over to Vishal.
All right, Chinmay. Wow, what an exciting evening. I mean, my evening was eventful, but it wasn't as eventful as yours. I think one of the most interesting, exciting things that happened was that I cut myself 15 minutes before coming onto this webinar when I was having the shave. But alongside that, I was on a call to a client halfway across the world, and wow, it's amazing the opportunities that come about when you put yourself out there. And so let me give you a quick agenda of what's coming ahead of you this evening. Make sure you get a paper and some pen to take down some notes so you can actually remember what's being shared. And the first part of this webinar is going to be where I'm going to share with you some of the most powerful ways that you can brand yourself. In fact, I'm going to share 4 with you. I'm going to show you exactly what they are and how you do them without going into the exact step of how you do them. But I'm going to make sure that you understand exactly what you need to do to apply these to you, your business, and your personal life. And then I'm gonna offer something very special. It's so exciting. You'll love it. You'll likely really want to get involved with it. And I'm going to hand you over to Chinmay, who's got some dazzling content for you. And then he's going to share a huge surprise with you. And then we're going to take some questions and answers and then end the call. But what I'm going to start off with is teaching you about the power of branding. And a brand to most people means a logo. But let me simplify it for you. Let me make it so simple to understand and so powerful that you'll never forget it. A brand is not your logo. A brand is your identity. And your identity is not what you think it is. It's what your prospective clients and customers think of you and your brand and your business or your service or your product, whatever you're offering. So it's what they think that counts. So if you think, oh my God, I'm amazing, I'm the best in the world, then that's good if you think that. But it's even better when your prospective clients and customers perceive you in that way. So if they start to experience you in the light that you want to be perceived in, amazing, you've hit the nail on the head. You've got your brand across in a way in which they will understand it, and they will start telling other people the same thing that you want them to tell them. But say, for example, you're portraying yourself as being amazing, but they're saying you're completely lousy and you're boring and you're not entertaining and you don't deliver value, then your brand is not what you think it is, it's what they think it is. And so if most of them think you're lousy, boring, and dull, then that's exactly what your brand is, not what you think it is. And also, here's the key thing, the experience. You need to make sure that you're giving your prospective clients and customers a very positive experience. They want to know and feel you, the message that you've got, the story that you've got, the product or the idea you've got. When they feel that experience, when they understand that it's there to value them and benefit them, then they start to rave about you. They start telling everyone, oh, I met Angelos and he's amazing, and I met Moyo and he's so kind and he helped me with my business and he gave me this idea, and I met Ed and he said, oh my God, you're the best accountant in the world, and he taught me this technique on how to save money. And the more they talk about you and the more they perceive you in a positive light, the more likely you are to have a powerful, profitable business that will sustain the kind of lifestyle that you want. And there's four ways. There's four ways in which you do that. Make sure you write these down. And you thought that a double A Duracell battery was powerful. Wait until you get this quadruple A Vishal branding battery. Once you hear this, you are never ever going to be in the sea of sameness, because if you're not branded, then you're in the sea of sameness. You're the same as everybody else. And when you're the same as everybody else, it's likely that your income is lower than it should be. It's like going into a business meeting and 49 people have black suits and 50 people have blue suits. But there's one person with a bright pink suit. And of those 100 people, 99 of them are in the sea of sameness, and one of them has a pink suit. That's the person that's really well branded. And even if there's 3 or 4 people with a pink suit, they're really well branded because they will stand out from the crowd. They will stand out and they'll be the ones who get noticed. And because they get noticed, they're more likely to get picked. But if there's 50 and 49 black and blue suited people, then it's like you're thinking, which one should I go for? But if there's a couple who have a bright pink one, you think, wow, that person stands out, they're different. I better go and speak to them, ask them what they're doing differently. Do you get that? And so once you get branded, you're not in the sea of sameness, but you're in the island of individuality. And when you're in that place, life is so exciting. You have more clients, more opportunities, more money, and more media coming to you. So the 4 most powerful ways of branding, get these down. The first one, and they're all A's, they're all A's. The first one is branding by association. Let's say, for example, you're a professional speaker and you're seen to be with the most powerful professional speakers in the world. Let's say you're seen to be with Tony Robbins. Let's say you're seen to be with Les Brown. Let's say you're seen to be with Brian Tracy. Let's say you're seen to be with my business partner, Raymond Aaron. When you're seen with these people and people see you with these people, you're branded by association. And sometimes because you're in person, you're in their presence and you're with each other, you can't always let everyone know you're with each other. You can through social media, but it's not always possible. So if a picture with them, let's say you've got a picture with one of the greatest or well-known people in your respective industry, and you're showing that to prospective clients, they're going to be impressed by that. They'll be amazed by the fact that you're hanging around with these kinds of people. And when you're seen to be with people who are really well known in your industry, you're perceived as being amazing. You're perceived as being someone who needs to be known. And so they want to actually know you now. So when you have a picture with someone who has a great deal of visibility and credibility, someone who's really famous or well known, as I said, then you're branded by association. So you'll see for me, like you might see in the back there's a picture of me and Joe Calzaghe. You can't see it quite clearly, but it's just an example. And when I show that to someone, they're like, wow, that's amazing. And then I tell them, yeah, in fact, he has a copy of my book. He has a signed copy of my book. He and I are now buddies. They're like, whoa, that's amazing. So that's branding by association. In simple, it's you seen to be associated with powerful people who have a great deal of visibility and credibility. Secondly, branding by acknowledgement. Let's say, for example, you've done something of created a product, or you've created some kind of idea, and you've got someone who's famous and well known to write a testimonial for you, to maybe create a video for you, maybe to send out an email to their list about you. When you have things like that happening for you, you're branded by acknowledgement. So I'll give you another example. Let's say you've written a book, or you've written an article, let's say, but let's say book, because book's more powerful, and the Queen has acknowledged you for your book by writing to you, or David Cameron, the Prime Minister of England, has written to you as a result of receiving your book, then you're seen to be you're seen to be acknowledged, branded by acknowledgement. And if you don't have a book at this point in time, if someone who's very famous and very well known maybe writes a testimonial for the work that you're doing in a genuine way, and they've used it and they've got some value from it, then that is also seen as branded by acknowledgement. So if they've written something positive about you and they're really powerful and well known, then you're branded by acknowledgement. So I've got to two of the four ways. So if those two haven't worked for you so far, you know you need to start applying them. The third one is branding by achievement. Branding by achievement. This is the one where, let's say you've done something of credibility. Let's say you've done something great, and you receive an award for it, like you're a New York Times best-selling author because of your book, or you've written a book and you've become an award-winning author like Chinmay and I have, or you've been invited onto the biggest radio station in your country, or you've been given a championship for doing something exceptional. Let's say you won a huge tournament in a sports game or something like that, sports tournament, then you're getting an achievement, and as a result of that achievement, you're using that achievement to your advantage by sharing it with people that you meet. And so when you do that, you're branded by achievement. So I'll give you an example. Recently, I featured on the biggest online radio station called Voice America, and they invited me on, and they have a reach of over 4.5 million people. Over 4.5 million people. That's right, over 4.5 million people. And so for the rest of my life, I can say I was invited onto Voice America, the biggest online radio station. Can you see the power of that? And when someone else says it for you, and they use your branding by achievement, it's even more powerful. And as a result of that, let me just go off topic here. I went on that radio show, and there was about 10, 12 speakers before me. But the guy who was hosting the show said there were so many people who were listening into that show. It was the most popular show they ever had. He not only invited me once, but he's invited me on again because that show was so popular. And so I use that as branding by achievement. And you need to think about how you can use branding by achievement to your advantage. So I've given you 3 of the 4 A's of the most powerful branding techniques that you can use. So I've given you branding by association, branding by acknowledgement, and branding by achievement. And the fourth one is so powerful. It creates the biggest wow. It gets people raving about you. It's just the most startling way that you could wow anyone and get branded. It's probably the easiest one to do too. And it's branding by authoring. When you've authored a book, all of a sudden you become the authority in your professional industry. And it's so powerful because anytime you meet anyone and they know that you've written a book, they're amazed. They say, wow, they're impressed, they want to work with you, they want to know you, they want to be associated to you, they want an acknowledgement from you, they want to know that you're somehow a part of their life. And that's what branding by authoring a book can do for you. And one of the most powerful ways to write your book is to learn from people who have already done it, because they know exactly how to help you get there. Because writing a book is not an easy task. It's a huge task. But it can be made very simple when you learn from people who have already done it. And in that way, it simplifies the whole aspect of writing a book. But normally, when you want to do something like that, it can cost tens of thousands of pounds. And normally you need to learn from someone who's a big celebrity, someone who's really well branded. And so there's some amazing, exciting ways of authoring a book, and I've given you those 4 really powerful ways of branding. So let me repeat them. Branding by association, branding by acknowledgement, branding by achievement, and branding by authoring your own book. And you know that you need to start applying these to take yourself out of the sea of sameness into the island of individuality. And of course, in 10, 15 minutes, you're not going to know exactly how to do that. But the exciting thing about it is that I'm going to be teaching you exactly how you apply each of those principles, exactly how you get those opportunities, exactly how you implement each opportunity so that it's done in a very simple and effortless way, and you're going to learn it for free. You're going to learn it for free at the UK Business Success event. It's on the 17th of May in London, and you're invited as a guest to from me and Chinmay, and we're going to be so excited to speak at that event and give you some of the most powerful information you have ever heard. And what's the charge to you? Nothing. Nothing. It's the first ever event. It's going to be one of the most powerful events you've ever been to, and you'll learn exactly how to do it. Exactly how to do it in terms of branding yourself. And so I'm gonna actually pass it over to Chinmay, because Chinmay has got some really dazzling information, and so he's gonna put it across to you in a way in which you can understand it and implement it. And as I pass it over to him, I'm gonna pop the link and a button on the right hand side so that at any point during this webinar, you can just click on that link and it will allow you to register your seat. So you can actually register your seat for free for our UK Business Success event. And if you can't see the button, the link for our website is www.ukbusinesssuccessevent.com. That's www.ukbusinesssuccessevent.com. But don't go now. Don't go right now, because Chinmay has got some really powerful content for you. It's so powerful my screenshot started to shake. Like my screen was wobbling because it's so excited to hear what he's got to say. And so I've given you 4 of the most powerful ways of branding. You thought Duracell was powerful. You've just had a quadruple Duracell branding battery that's going to allow you to get so many clients, leads, and opportunities coming your way. Now, Chinmay, oh my gosh, I'm excited to hear what he's got to say. So, Chinmay, give them your best content, look after them. They're our most favorite clients, and do your thing. Over to you.
Hey Vishal, thank you. Wow. No pressure to follow Vishal there. Wow, it's gonna be great. Okay, guys, now you've learned how to build a personal brand. Well, if you've learned something, just say hi in the chat. Just say hi. Thank you, Vishal, or say ping so that we know you listen to what Vishal said. And then now you're gonna listen to what I'm gonna talk about is now with the power of your personal brand. Now you're going to find out how you can apply to your business brand. Well, what I've been doing is I've been helping small businesses, business owners. Some of my clients are Brighton Suzuki. Then I've also spoken at the United Nations International Development Organization. Short form is UNIDO, where I was a guest speaker, and I was speaking in front of 20 or 30 multi-million-dollar CEOs, and I was talking about branding. And it's more than personal branding. To build on what is that when you have a business, when you start your business, it's important to actually say what are the fundamental steps you're going to build it on. And I've created a slide presentation for that. And we're going to go. I'm going to share the screen with you so we can take a look at the slide presentation. And if you are able to see the slide, just ping and say yes. And so I know that you have actually, see the slide. 1 second. Do you see the slide? Okay. Can you see? I'm going to share the slide now. Okay, you're seeing me. Whoa. Hang on. Okay. Before I get on with the presentation, now this is just a presentation, so I'm just going to quickly pop into the magic window just to see if everyone's online. Yes, the magic window effect is gone. Now, the presentation. Well, this is about how you can start your business. The foundations of what makes a big brand, like Apple, like Nike, like Mercedes, like BMW. Think of any of these brands, they have implemented some of these startup fundamentals, and without these, their brand would have never reached the heights it has reached now. So now imagine how powerful this is. Okay, so what we're going to do is start with the first startup. Why 85% of the startups fail within 2 years? Well, I did my research when I was starting my first book. The first book is called Run Before You Walk. It's exactly what it says, run before you walk. So like if you implement some of these strategies, even one of these strategies in the order and the sequence it has been illustrated in the book, then you would be able to run before you actually fail in your business. So you actually walk so that before you actually go through the painful stages of walking and actually getting that early stages, you can actually start running, and that's only because you have the power of a brand. So now the reason why, now let's get back to the burning issue. 85% of startups fail within 2 years. Why? Well, in my research, what I found out was that everyone tries to be everyone. They try to be everyone. They try to fit in. The businesses, like, if you look at if you walk down your local street, trust me, walk down your local street tomorrow and try to look at news agents, or the worst of them are or beauty parlors, hair salon, hairdressers. You walk down, you actually make out everyone tries to fit in. They might have different colors. They might have different names on their billboards, but they all fit in. The way they greet you, the way they actually market, the way they actually have their business plan, everything fits in. Nothing stands out. So everyone trying to be a same person. So when there's too much clutter, what happens? Your customer would go to the cheapest provider. So that's why. Now this is one of the reasons. When you go to the cheapest provider, you try to compete on price, and very often, because it's not sustainable, you will run out of business. You will have to close your business. Now the first one is everyone tries to fit in. The second, you try to do everything at the same time without focus, without priority of tasks, without having a plan and the strategy to implement the plan, and also the sequence in which to implement each of the plans. You will always go into an infinite loop of time. Without getting the right things done at the right time, you might be missing out on some very important parts of the business. So now, these are the two fundamental things. There are several ways I can talk about hours and hours of why businesses fail, because I've done the research in my book. But for today, just remember two things. When you try to fit in and when you try to do everything at the same time, you fail. There is no excuse. Now, how you get your business off the ground? Let's get on. I've created 3 steps. It's 3 simple steps. You can remember it, and you can even actually write a poem for it. And it's so easy to remember. Now let's get on. The first one is create it. So you're going to create your business. What? Yeah, of course, Chen. You're going to create a business. But how are you going to create it with? How are you going to build it? There are some fundamental things you need to have and not do in that process. If you do any of them, you know what's going to happen. You're going to crumble. The second step, you're going to launch it. There's a sequence to which you have to launch your business. And if you do any one of the sequences in the wrong order, you might miss out the opportunity to learn and actually save you a lot of money in the long run. So launch sequence has to be very crucial. And the third is how you're going to grow it. Well, the first one, you might have got lucky creating a perfect business. You might have got lucky launching it and attracting the initial customers, money-paying customers. But if you don't have the strategies to grow it and actually make it a sustainable business where you're on top of your business and not in your business, you will soon start regretting that you're in business. So there are the 3 fundamentals. Now, let's go to the first one, create it. In that, I'm just going to share with you the 3 deadly sins of startups. That's right. There are some really bad startups, some habits created, used, and it's universal, I'm afraid. It's really universal. Everybody's doing it. Every startup, every entrepreneur does the same mistakes, and I keep banging on my head when all my students come to me, all even seasoned business owners come to me asking, Chain, I've done this, I need to attract more clients, my marketing is not working. Why? I've been in this business for 3 years, it's working fine, but now people are coming to my website, nothing's happening. My marketing material is not working. Why? When I go back and say, hey, have you looked back in time? Have you turned back in time, gone back to the day one of your business and found out what mistakes you made that has costed you money over and over and over? And I found out 3 of those mistakes actually cost money. The first one is when you start your journey, you tend to begin with the logo because you're excited, you're passionate. This is the moment where you actually unleash your creativity and you're actually jumping on the bandwagon of entrepreneurship, and you're going all guns, you're going with your all energy, you're working 60 hours a week. But the first step, what you do is you begin with your logo. You start visualizing how you're going to build your logo, what colors, what designs. Well, that's the wrong step. You don't start with your logo, because logo is just an identity for something. But if you try with an identity and then derive your true value of your business, then it can stand for anything. So first one, never start with your logo, because logo is probably the last step you do in the process of creating your business. So now go back and say how you can go back and undo some of the changes in your logo, because logo can be changed, but your business value has to always be the same and evolve with what the customer needs. But the first mistake startups I've seen startups do, I've seen my students who come back, and even seasoned business owners do, is they begin their entrepreneurial journey with the logo. That's wrong. Now, second is adding a personal name to the business, to the company name. Well, if you walk down your local street, again, I know you'll be walking on the local street to spot some, blend in the normal, some of the average businesses who try to fit in. At the same time, look out for the names, look out for other names. They all have their surnames, they all have their names, even some of them even have their children's name in their business. What is it all about? Your business is about adding value to your customers. They will decide whether they want to buy you, whether you're actually adding value or not. If you're not, then what's the point? So the customers will get confused. Am I buying a business or am I buying this person? What's happening here? So what am I getting out of this business? So that's one confusion you're going to create for your customers, your initial customers and your prospects. So avoid using a customer personal name in it. And secondly, there's other drawback of this business is if you have a plan to sell your business in the future, you will not be able to do so if you have your name in it. Hence, always remember to not add your company name. If you don't have your company name, then you will be able to attract your customers, because your customers would know what you are. They would immediately know what your business does. Bang, you got their attention. That's what you need. And then how you put across the message is a whole different idea. But the first step is not adding your name in your business. You might mention it about you later on, but the business name like Nike, BMW, Apple, are they personal names? Of course not. How about Google? Is there a person called Mr. Google somewhere? Of course not. It stands for something. It may be creative, but if it's too creative and you don't know what the name, and if you want to just create a word out of thin air, then you can just add a slogan or a strap line to give it a meaning. Like a book. The book has a creative title, like my Run Before You Walk. The subtitle is The Secret to Business Success from Day One. So the subtitle explains the title, which is creative. So if you want to go creative on your company name, go for it. But add a strapline which actually connects and bridges the customer to what your company does. Now the third and the final sin is choosing the wrong color. Well, every business resonates to the type of customer they want to attract and stands for a value. for what the customer wants, with your brand stands about. So the brand is an identity, right? So think about all the big brands and find out why they have different colors and how each color signifies a different characteristic. Now, in the next email, I'm going to send out a very useful link which signifies different characteristics of each of the colors, and that you might find it helpful. And when you're designing your logo, marketing material, look at that color and decide which color you want to be associated with. That's very powerful. So these are the 3 sins of startup, So that's why if you start avoiding them, then you'll automatically start focusing on your brand, because your brand is who you stand for. Your logo is just an identity for something. It's like a flag of a country. The flag is just a symbolic gesture, a symbol for what the nation, a country stands for. The same thing is your logo. Your logo stands for something. What is it? And that's your brand. And when you know what you stand for, your business stands for, and it's congruent in every aspect of your business, the way you greet your customer when they walk in through your door, the way you greet your customer in your email, the way you greet your customer after they have paid your services and post customer service sales, that's all your business brand. It has to be congruent. Now we have learned create it. I'm just going to step quickly with launch it, because I know we're running out of time. I'm going to, in just a couple of minutes, I'm going to give you what launch it is. 2 steps to launch your business. 1 is to have a soft launch. The advantage of soft launch is that you can save a lot of money. You know why? Because you can experiment with your marketing. You can really find out if it really works. What you've tried, whether your marketing works, before you actually spend hundreds and thousands of pounds. You can actually experiment which of the marketing messages work, which of them actually grabs your prospects' attention, and which of them actually converts them into leads. So you can easily experiment with the soft launch, and then you can actually save money. If you experiment and actually find out the most efficient way to market your business, it will save you money. You know why? Because in marketing world, there's a phrase which says, half of my marketing works, but I don't know which half. So in the soft launch, you will find out which half works, so you can save half of your money. And then it's the best time to attract some initial fans, the early adapters, like how the people who, when Apple launches a new product, there are people who stands for 3 to 4 days in line outside Apple store to buy their product. They are the early raving fans, and that's what you can know. The strategy is how you can do it for your soft launch. Once you have done your soft launch, of course, there's the hard launch, and how you go big bang with your product and actually then grow your business. Now, this is part of this launch it, part of the create it, launch it, and grow it. And now when you're ready, you can take off your business and get on, and then you're going to learn how to grow it. Well, with the time I had today, I can only share a tiny, maybe 3% of what you're going to be learning at the UK Business Success event, because you're going to be knowing how in detail a workshop where you'll obviously get a personal signed copy of my book for the first 5 people who will register for this event. When you come in, you will get you'll get a registered copy of my event, and hang on, I'm just trying to. You get a registered copy of my book, and that's the book, Run Before You Walk. And so at the event, you're going to learn how to create your business, how to launch your business, and how to grow your business. And if you think the last 15 minutes was helpful, just say hi. Just say hi on the screen, so I know you have listened to me, you have actually learned something, and give me some feedback. Tell me, thank you, Chin, that was amazing. That'll be great. Well, I don't know what the Queen thought when she saw my book, Run Before You Walk. That'd be interesting. But I got a letter from her saying, "Thank, the book was amazing. It's fantastic." That's all I got from a book. That's all I got from a letter. So if you want to have a signed copy of the book at the event, it's only for the first 10. It's sorry, I thought 5, but I'm going to increase. I'm more generous. I want the first 10 people who attend the webinar. Like, like what I mean is use the event, use the registration link, and register tonight, now. And when you do that, you're there. It's only for the first 10. And at the webinar, sorry, at the event, oh man, at the event, you're going to learn how to create your business, launch your business, and grow your business. There'll be plenty of notes, there'll be plenty of workbooks, worksheets, which you'll be able to use, go home, template it, and man, I'm so excited for you when you come to the event. You did see it. I was about to again say webinar. You're already at the webinar. Chin, they're already at the webinar. You need to invite them to the event. Oh man, I'm so excited. It's the adrenaline. Sorry guys, I've just come from a run. And that's the second thing I love doing, and the first thing I love doing is sharing and helping people. So when you do the first and the second most amazing task which you love doing in a day, you're gonna go really bubbly with your adrenaline. You're gonna go, whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm like a champagne about to pop out. So, well, there you know. The event link is there. So, what are you waiting for? Register for the event. I'll see you at the event. And now, Vishal has another message for you. And Vishal's gonna take over. And I can't wait to see you on May 17th. Until then, take care. And also, by the way, you're gonna get an email with the link I promised to you about the the different colors and how it signifies. I'll send you an email, and I'll see you at the event. Over to Vishal. Thank you, guys.
Oh my gosh, Chimai, that was amazing. It was so amazing. I even lost my voice for a second there. That was powerful. I mean, I've known you for 1.5, 2 years now, and I've never seen you present such powerful information. It was so dazzling. I love the way you've created the 3 different steps and how you took us through each one of those steps. But I would actually want to know more in detail. I would want to know exactly how I could go through each of those steps. And my guess is that obviously you didn't have enough time to take us through how each step actually works for us and our business, but at the UK Business Success event, I'm sure you're going to take us through exactly how to do each step so that we can actually become more successful in our professional and personal lives. Is that correct, Chinmay?
That's right, Vishal. Yes. Well,
Wow.
I think that's why we love presenting together. That's why we have come together and realized what's lacking in this environment, and how we can actually help entrepreneurs and established business owners to take their business to the next level. And if you're an entrepreneur and you want to start your business and how you want to do it in the right way, we thought, which is the best way to start a business? Build a powerful brand, like how Sir Richard Branson has. He's a powerful brand. Any business he starts, bang on, it's going to really definitely run. And teach them how to build a business brand. So personal brand is about you. So anything you touch will turn to gold. And business brand and is how you can actually attract the right customer, send the right message, so that when your customers, your prospect, your ideal customer sees you, knows your business brand, knows your name of your business, they're like, bang, that's it. So where your business is actually selling without selling. You know what I mean? It's like when an Apple launches a new product, you know you're going to buy it. So it's like selling without selling. That's right. So those are the strategies of building a business brand, which I'm planning to share on that day, which I will share on that day. And Vishal has amazing strategies to how to build a powerful personal brand. So with a combination of both, it's UK Business Success event. Isn't that right, Vishal?
I love it. I absolutely love it. And you just said something there that really, really stood out, in that when, let's say, using Apple as an example, people are actually queuing up. They're queuing up to buy their products, and there's a supposed recession. There's a supposed recession. People are struggling to pay their bills, yet they queue up outside of Apple stores to buy their latest product every time they release something new. And it just goes to show how powerful a brand can be, because once you get your brand right, people are queuing up to buy regardless of what their financial situation is. So at the event, you and I are going to teach exactly how you can do that. When you attend that event, oh my gosh, it's going to be one of the most powerful events that has ever been ran, based on building your personal brand and your business brand, as Chinmay said. And here's the thing. Not only are you invited, but you can bring along a guest at no charge. At no charge. And I think, Chinmay, you were going to raise the price of the event. And when did you decide that the price of the event is going up? Because right now it's free. But when does the price go up to £47?
Hey, yeah, the price of the event is going to go up at midnight today. If you go to the ukbusinesssuccessevent.com, you will say it's 4 hours, 22 minutes, 21 seconds, 19 seconds. So clock is ticking, guys. If you know any friend who can benefit from this event of building a personal brand and a business brand, get them along. If you come along, get your friends. It's the reason why we're saying get your friends is because when you're on a journey of your own success, your own journey of your discovering yourself, who would you rather be with? A person who actually sees the best in you and also has the same burning desire to go for the success. In other words, if you're a lion, would you rather be part of a pride, or would you be rather part of sheep or buffaloes? You want to be part of a lion, or if you're an eagle, you want to soar among the eagle and see on top. So you want to be with more of your kind. So that's why you're like, if you know any friends, bring them along. You both are going to have a great time. Both. If you know a group of friends, get them along. If you're part of a community or who actually share business ideas and how actually help each other with actually getting business started, you are going to get help. You are going to help your friends get benefited from this event. So remember, guys, it's 4 hours 20. Let me have a look at the website. It's 4 hours 22 minutes again. So it's kicking. It's at midnight. It's going to go up to £47, and after every day we're gonna really bump, because this was initially started when we trialed it out, when we sold initial members. We were trying to say how much it can cost, because we know how powerful this strategy is. It's gonna go up to £147. So every day you delay, oh my god, the more you delay,
the more you pay. The more you delay, the more you pay. I love it. So Chinmay, what you're saying is, let's just clarify this, is that I didn't even know this. You've actually you just explained this. Can you even show it to us? Because I'm not even sure I believe it, that it's actually going to go up. So you're saying in 4 hours, and in about 3-4 hours from now, the price is going to go up to £47. And then every day that goes by, they're going to actually have to pay more to get in. And the final price, a few days before the event, if they think, oh my God, I want to come to this, I'm going to have to pay £147 to come to this. Is that correct, Mike?
That's right, yes. You say it's 4 hours, 21 minutes, and 36 seconds. And
okay, I actually believe you now.
Okay, that's good.
I actually believe now, because I want our clients.
So you go here and you just register yourself, share this to your friends as well, and if you know who can help you, who can benefit from this event, just bring them along. Just bring them along. Isn't that right, Vishal?
Yeah, and the other thing that's really powerful is that in essence, you're saying that the people that you hang around with are the people you most become like. So if I hang around with very successful people, which I do, then I'm more likely to become successful, which I am. And so that same principle applies to anyone and everyone. and more importantly applies to you. And so even if I'm around people who are striving to become successful, there's a higher chance of me becoming successful than if I don't hang around with those kinds of people. So what Chinmai is saying to you is that the more you're around successful people, and trust me, at this event there's going to be a lot of successful people. The more you're in that environment, the more it pushes you into the environment of being successful. And you are not only shaped by the people that you hang around with, but you're also shaped by the experiences you have. And trust me, this event is going to be a very positive experience. There's going to be some amazing energy. There's going to be some amazing content. You're going to get to network with some of the biggest, most upcoming businesses in the UK. And as a result of meeting with those businesses, you'll find that you step up a level or two in terms of where you are to where you want to go, and you'll find yourself flying to the kind of success that you've always wanted for yourself. So what I'm going to ask you to do now is I'm going to ask you for the next 10 minutes to ask any kind of questions you have. If there's a burning question where you're thinking, oh my God, I can't wait until the event, I need to ask this question right now, then go ahead and ask that question right now in the chat box, and I'm going to give you one to get started. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask it to Chinmai. He didn't even know I was going to do this, but I got asked a question today from one of our clients who is attending our event, and they said, I'm coming to the event, I'm so excited, but I can't make the webinar tonight, and I'd love to have the recording, so you will get the recording. And he asked this question, and so I thought to myself, let me ask it to Chinmai, and I can chip in as well. So, Chinmai, are you ready for this burning question that our client who's actually attending the event just couldn't wait to ask? Are you ready for it?
Yeah, I am ready, Vishal. Come on.
Okay, good. So, this client, I'm not going to say his name for confidentiality reasons because he's not on the call, but he knows who he is, asked the question, if you had only one way to get branded and for it to have a huge impact and create the biggest momentum, what one way would you advise him to work on in terms of creating his brand for his business?
Well, we can mix both of what we're using. We can use a combination of your personal brand and the business brand. So the one thing which your client can do is to actually consolidate his thoughts into one physical commodity which will remain forever and it will also be preserved in the libraries across the world. That's right. You ask your client to write a book, because when you write a book, you actually focus your thoughts and energy based on how you can help your person. So even because the book is a symbol of you, your ideas, because the reason why it's so powerful to brand is because everyone knows, even when the author dies, the book remains forever. Your ideas remain forever. So that is the profound. Imagine how profound that is, how intense that is. And that's the reason why authoring a book is one of the most amazing and the single most strategy to build a powerful brand. And that's for a personal brand. And if you're into business, you can also use that. But there are some nice strategies you're going to use to make sure you can amplify both, so that you can have your personal brand and your business brand. And with the right combination of right strategies of both, bang, you have a big business brand. You're gonna make. That's how you're gonna make more profits. How you're gonna make more time, because we know the confidence with how we are saying it, because what happens is you will stop working for your brand, because the brand will then start working for you, because that's when you have a powerful brand. When you start spending hours trying to convince your brand is good and you have to convince your customer to buy from you, then you're working for your brand. But if your brand pre-sells you, then your brand's working for you. You'll find out That's my first suggestion, Vishal. So one way is to actually just write a book.
Okay, I love it. I mean, it's such a powerful answer that you've actually answered how I would answer it. So there's nothing more for me to answer because it's true. Writing your own book is the most powerful way to brand yourself so that your clients are eager and drooling, like drooling to buy from you in terms of whatever your service, your product, whatever it is that you're offering. They'll just be ready to buy because you're so well branded through writing your own book. And then when you've got your book, it's like people want acknowledgments from you. They want to hang out with you. They want to be associated to you because of writing a book. So I would highly agree and say that that's probably the most powerful way that you could brand yourself. So you know who you are, your question has been answered, and it will get answered further when you attend the event. Okay, so have your questions coming in. I've got a comment coming in here from Florence. She says, Maya says, yeah, great insight. Florence, thanks, Chinmay, great presentation. Maya says, Vishal, very apt way to bring in the concept of quadruple A based on the known AA Duracell idea. Super hard to forget this analogy. Oh, thank you, Mia. I like the fact that you're acknowledging the idea. What I did was I thought of that idea about 30 minutes before this webinar in the shower. I was just thinking to myself, what can I use to describe the four most powerful ways of branding? And I thought of the AA battery. And I thought, let me add a double AA battery and call it a quadruple branding battery. And so, yeah, it works quite well. Call it quadruple A branding battery. Let's call it that. Let's call it that. So do you have any other questions? If you have any other questions, the line is jammed. Like there's so many people on the line. I don't get it, what it is. Are you really shy? Is it that you feel that maybe Chinmay or I might bite you? Because we won't. We really won't. We're quite gentle people. We're actually very gentle. So feel free, type in your question. If you don't have any questions, just say thank you very much. We've had a great time. Just share your comment because in about 20 minutes, I'm about to go and watch a movie because I'm done for the day. So if you don't have any questions, just leave your final comment. If you do have a question, we're going to hang out for the next few moments and answer any question that you have. And Chinmay, with his genius mind, has just come up with an idea that if you do think of a question later on, you can email us at london@ukbusinesssuccessevent.com. And remember that in about 4 hours, the price of the ticket is going up to £47. But it's free until then. For you and your guests, it's free until then. Oh my God, the line is getting busier, Chinmay. There's actually more people coming on at the end of the webinar than there was right at the moment it began. It's crazy. Someone must be putting the message out there that they've learned so much. They've had such a great time. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Chinmay, is there anything you want to add? If there's no other questions.
I've just got an email. I'm just checking the email I've got. Another person asking is what are the simple steps? Like what are the sequence? Yeah, wait, hang on, he sent an email. What are the sequence in which to start a business? I know it's create, launch, and grow it, but are there any strategies which links and benefit? Well, that's a great question. That's exactly right. So you can actually, there is the concept is that you actually create your business, create your brand, then you launch your brand, then you grow your brand. That's the whole concept. But because everything is interlinked, you have to actually use the right sequence. And the sequence is that has to be worked. The strategies are proven and it has to work. But I'll tell you why. If you're learning a musical instrument, a piano, the first time you're going to go and try your hands on a piano, you're not going to go and just start rambling around and try random notes. You're going to first learn the basics. You're going to learn the combination of notes which work and prove to create a nice music. And once you know the rules of these notes and the combination of how you can mix and match, you're going to then break your own rules and start creating your own music. Well, that's the same strategy with creating your business. Create, launch, and grow. Create it, launch it, and grow it is a list of proven strategies, sequence of proven steps to take to launch your business. Once you have learned, mastered them, you can go and break your own rules and start creating your own business in different ways, in which is more powerful than what you've learned. But until then, the same way how if you would try to use a random note on piano, which would sound like noise, the same thing would happen with business. It won't be noise. Unfortunately, it would be failure. And I want you to win. And I want you to go towards your success. And I really want you to achieve your dreams. I really want you to go towards the goal you have dreamt of when you started on this entrepreneurial journey. So, yes, you can mix and match, but you're going to learn the rules first before you break them and create your own. So, I hope that's answered your question. Thank you for sending in. It's a really quick. I'm really impressed. I just used the email address and immediately sent an email. That's pretty impressive.
Okay, awesome. So here's another question from Florence. She asked, "How did you set the price of our books?" But I think she means your books. So Chinmay, how did you set the price of your book, or your books rather, because you have two?
Well, it's a strategy which I learned, which Vishal is going to reveal on May 17th. Well, it's one of the strategies is to, again, don't break the rule, go with what you have, and also add value to your business, add value to your book. Well, my book is £14.99, and that's what I felt. It's perfect because I've seen other business books, and like Robert Kiyosaki's, The Art of Start. All of that is priced on the same price. So that's one way which I thought, yeah, my pricing is proper. So I have it. I'm not sure if you can see it. There you have it's $14.99 and $25. So that's one of the strategies. But I don't want to break the suspense. Vishal is going to tell you all you need to know on May 17th.
Okay, very good answer. And actually, I'm going to give you a quick insight to it right now because I value the fact that you're on this call. So, Florence, you want to price the book higher than any average book because the prospective client that you meet, you want them to perceive your book as being very valuable, so you price it a lot higher than the average book. But like Chinmay said, I'll teach you more in detail on May the 17th when you and your guests come along, and I'll leave it at that. So you want to price it higher than an average book, and I'll teach you more in detail how to do that when you and your guests attend on May the 17th. And Mayu has a great question here. He said, authoring a book is a sound idea, but is that the right way for everyone to brand themselves? A great book requires experience. So, okay, great question. I'm gonna begin with this, and I'm gonna get Chinmay's view as well on this. Authoring a book is a very sound idea. That's true, absolutely. Is it a way for everyone to brand themselves? I would say yes. I believe you have a book in you. I absolutely believe that you have a book in you. Every single person on this planet has a book in them, but I definitely believe that you have a book in you. And you may think that you need a lot of experience. You may think that you need to know a lot of stuff. You may think that the perfect time to write a book is tomorrow. But the truth is, the best time to write your book is now. Because there's so much that you actually know that you don't know you know. And it's just a matter of someone who's very good at helping you pull what you know out of you, but you can't do it yourself because you're so engrossed in your life and in what you're doing that you don't always know what you know. And that could also be a little link to self-esteem issues. Not saying that you have low self-esteem, but just saying that It might be something to do with having someone who's very confident and knows how to pull the things out of you that you don't know how to pull out of you. So it's the best way to brand yourself, I believe, because I did it. That's the first way that I used, and that's the first way that Chinmay used to really brand himself. And now he's doing other things with helping you brand your business as well as yourself. But the first way that he and I both started to brand ourselves was through writing a book. And so I believe it could work for absolutely anyone, even if your native language is not English, because Chinmay is not actually born in England, yet he's authored a book, and the majority of the English population, native English population, haven't authored a book. So it just goes to show the possibility of what writing a book can do for you. And sometimes I'll speak as if I'm not native English, and I've authored a book, and it's done incredible things for me. So it can absolutely do magical things for you. By the way, I was joking. I was kind of like putting myself down there, and hopefully you laughed about it. Chinmay, what about you?
I just want to say one thing to my ear. It's I come from a sports background. Well, to give you a gist, I'm a black belt in karate, I'm a rowing champion, and I'm a mountaineer. And what I've learned in all these three aspects is that you have to be in the game to win it. It's like you can only play with what you have. Well, if you keep waiting for experience to write your perfect book, you will never play the game. So how are you going to get experience? Is by actually playing the game. And that's what I learned. And I use that in my business and building my brand. The sooner I wrote my first book, I immediately changed and I got another book out. And I'm working on my third book, which is called Economic Darwinism. That's right, it's called Economic Darwinism, like how to survive and thrive in any market. Like, I would have never thought of that book if I had never written the first book. So remember, you have to be in the game to win it, and also you can only play with what you have. So if you wait, it's going to be a catch-22 situation. So that's the reason why you're going to just go with what you have, gain the experience as you go along, and attract your customers, win them over, get the clients across, and like what I mean is get the sales. That's what you want. You want to influence them, because when they actually purchase, they're not purchasing your product, they're purchasing your experience, they're purchasing your confidence, they're purchasing your value. And you only need to be a couple of steps ahead of your prospective clients to show them the way, because you're already ahead of them. The more you walk, the more ahead you're going to be. So use what you have to get what you don't have. So if you want more clients, if you want to get, if your clients are currently paying you hundreds of pounds, and if you want to have clients who is paying you tens of thousands of pounds, then use what you have, then you're going to get what you don't have. So it's never too late to start writing a book. Actually, the right answer is to actually start writing a book yesterday, because today you could have been writing a second book and earning more than tens of thousands of pounds. That's the right answer.
Okay, wonderful. So we've now been on the call way longer than I expected. The turnout was absolutely amazing. I'm just, my jaw is so happy and it's almost so excited that it's almost dislocating because of the turnout and the content and the value that Chinmay and I shared with you. And the key thing now is to attend May the 17th. It's going to be one of the most powerful events you've ever attended. There's only about 4 hours before the price actually increases to £47, because right now it's free. So if you and your guests want to come along, it's absolutely free for the next 4 hours, and you'll just be blown away by what's going to be shared with you. So I'm so grateful you turned up. You will get a recording of this webinar very soon, and if you've got any final comments, just pop them in the chat box. Chinmay, is there anything you want to share?
Well, nothing. I've just enjoyed the webinar. I hope you guys have really enjoyed it. Just email us what you thought of the webinar, and if you really want, I really want you to come along on May 17th and actually get an overdose of what we really have to say, because we can only share so much in 20 minutes, in batches of 20 minutes. But if you actually spend an entire day with us, that'd be amazing. I'm actually looking forward to May 17th. It's just around the corner. So, and you have given us your hour of and about 90 minutes of today to spend it with us on webinar. I really thank you for that. And you've really made my evening by being on this webinar, because without you, I wouldn't have been able to share what's inside me. I wouldn't have been able to teach what I have. So that's my number one favorite thing to do. So thank you for allowing me to do the best thing I love doing. Thank you, guys.
Yes, thank you so much. And we look forward to seeing you on May the 17th. And Chinmay is so right. There is nothing else I'd rather have been doing for this last hour and 15, 20 minutes, apart from spending it with you on this webinar. But now it's time for us, as much as I'm hating doing this, it's time for us to end this call, and it's time for me to go and watch a movie, and it's time for Chinmay to do whatever he's doing. Chinmay, what are you going to do after this call?
Well, I am gonna sit and work on my new. I'm actually working on my new product. It's
Okay.
called the Success Orbiter, and I'm almost done with it. So I'm creating some videos. So I'll be on that all night.
Better you than me. I'm going to do a bit of work later, but I'm done for the day. So thank you. Thank you so much for attending. We look forward to seeing you on May the 17th. Remember, the price increases tonight at midnight. So get your seat reserved for you and your guest. And we are going to have a ball and a blast, and you're going to learn so much at the event. Thank you for attending. We'll see you soon.